Hi, my name is Randy. I'm the service manager here at Austin American Technology. And if you're watching this video, more than likely you're at a point in your installation to where you're going to need to hook bottles up. But before you do that, there's a few things that you would want to do. When you receive your bottles, if they're not already flushed, for your own a little insurance policy, you may want to flush them yourself. Now, there are a few things that you're going to need for this to do the flush on the bottles. First of all, you're going to need some tools. You're going to need a channel lock pliers, and depending on the type of bottle you have, you may need half-inch ratchet. That would fit directly in here. Okay, these are the tools that you would need. The reason being, because there's a bleed hole that's on the back or on the top of the tank that as the bottle fills, you want to expel all air from inside of the bottle as it fills. Now, what we're going to do, we're going to go ahead and start the process of filling the carbon tank first. The reason why we're doing the carbon tank first is because the carbon tank is the first point of entrance when it comes to the water recirculation. Okay, it goes into the carbon tank, it gets cleaned up, it goes in to the DI tank, and once it gets into the DI tank, this is where it removes all the ions before delivering it back to your machine. Now, there's two things to be leery of when you get your tanks. Okay, first of all is the type of carbon that you're going to ask for. Okay, you're going to want acid wash, and you want granular. Okay, you don't want powdered carbon, you want granular. Okay, so be sure of that. And another thing is the type of hose that you can use. Okay, when your machine comes, it's going to come with this blue hose. This hose right here is not more than a heater hose. Okay, your heater hose must be able to withstand temperatures of at least 150 degrees in order to be suitable for this application. Now, looking on the end of these hoses, in order to connect these tanks, you're going to need a 3/4 inch NPT. You're going to need 2 males and 2 females. And the reason why we say that is 4 connections here on the tank. And you're going to need one for each of them. And you're going to need however much 3/4 inch heater hose as possible. Now, what we're going to do, we're going to go ahead and get right into it. The first thing, if you can, could you turn on the water for me, please? As he turns on the water, you would quickly notice that there is air coming out of it. So what I'm going to do with the bleed valve is I'm going to go ahead and leave the bleed valve open. Once the tank fills up, it will then expel into the bucket. Okay, but there's one thing that I would want to do before it expels into the bucket is I'm going to go ahead and put this on to it. Okay, and you can hear when it starts to get close to the top. Okay, once it gets to the top, there we go. We're going to go ahead and put this on. Now it's going to come out into the bucket. Now, as you can see, the water is coming out into the bucket. Now, if your water comes out clear out of your carbon tank, more than likely your water company washes the carbon prior to you getting it. In some cases, it would come out looking like a soot. What do you want to do? You want to flush it until that soot is cleaned up. Okay, if we can turn off the water. At this point, what you're going to want to do is you have what you call the bypass hose. This hose connects from here to the other tank. We're going to remove the drain hose from the output section, and we're going to put it on the output section of the DI tank. And a very important note to remember is when selecting your tanks, you want to make sure that your carbon tank is twice the size of your DI tank. So let's say, for instance, if you have a 3 cubic feet carbon tank, you would want a 1.5 cubic feet mixed bed, which would be deionized tank. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and hook the bypass tube from the carbon tank to the DI tank. And the reason why we're doing this is while we're filling, we're also bleeding. Okay, and normally the DI tank, it's a little bit more forgiving when it comes to bleeding than the wash tank. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to tighten this up. And what you want to just snug it. You don't want to put too much pressure on it. Okay, now we're gonna run the same process on the rinse tank, and this time we're gonna go a little bit slower on the rinse tank because of the size. Okay. If you can turn the water on for me, please, so we can go ahead and start this section. And as you can see, by sticking my finger in there, I can see that the water, the beads themselves are wet. So that lets me know that this tank here is already been filled with water. Okay, as we can see. All right, now it's flowing clearly. And as you can see right now, it's flowing clear, which means the tank is filled and the air is out of it. This concludes the flushing of the carbon and DI tanks. If you need any more information, you can contact me directly at 512-756-4150, and that's extension 127. Thank you and have a good day.